All right, here we go. So, this series is to do some engineering to give me an excuse to kind of focus on a world for a little while and to do a lot of things that have movement, like solar panels and such. And this is all going to be on Triton. And so let's spawn. So, this is a vanilla world. I have just a couple mods that are like I changed the skybox and just for visual stuff, and otherwise it is vanilla. I have increased my player inventory just to encourage me to want to actually do stuff and design. Otherwise, I really haven't changed much about vanilla. I've turned off economy for now. I'll probably turn it on later. And I've turned off cargo ships and random encounters because those are currently off on official. So, first of all, I did want to use a particular color scheme for this whole playthrough. So, let's start with that now. And that is really like black and yellow. I'm using control click. All right, we are set. Okay, so here we are. We're on Triton. We first things first, as always. I'm gonna get this thing flying, and then we'll find a nice spot to get started. And here we go. So my main hobby is like making these fly and doing fresh starts. Can't really help it. I have progression off because I think it's pretty lousy. It's kind of funny, like even in the description of SE2, they're like, new progression system or improved progression system. They didn't want to be associated with the current one. Okay, so I just clear up that much space and then I start digging out things here. Oh, sorry. I leave that connection there. And if I was on official servers, I'd leave the timer block. So I could do the whole like respawn timer deal. But since I'm on my own save, I don't need to worry about that. Okay, all cleared out. Go ahead and replace some of these blocks here. And it is just so nice to be able to fly right away. So I just can't help myself. Okay, so I need to add some things to my bar. First of all, we're going to need that passenger seat here. And we'll need a remote. And a gyro. And then for later, we're going to start needing some Atmos. A few different types of them. That'll get us going for a while. Okay, so I just put a remote here. It doesn't really matter where you put them. And, passenger seat. Nice. Okay, so I got the passenger seat, got that handled, got that cleared out. Now we need to trim off these thrusters and put them up top. With the extra inventory space, it's pretty easy. Normally I have to make 2 trips for this. I just go ahead and remove all these blocks up front here. And then I just trim out these alcoves on the side. Just one sec, let me make sure I got my socials up here. Don't want to miss out on anybody. Okay. I trim out this section here. And I put these real small deals here. This is actually like it made such a difference for starting out, being able to have these 1/3 thrusters. It just gives you thrusting extraction, which you normally wouldn't have.
Energy low.
I'll get energy in a minute. Take it easy. Alright. So, we can now fly. Control panel here, and normally I would have actually set these landing gears up, but I didn't need to. So I made a group for my landing gears. Now I can add that group to my bar. And, I guess, up thrust would be really valuable. Apparently I'm a noob. Let's do this here. This is my current favorite spot to put a upward thruster. It kind of like varies often, but in the back here is kind of cool because it's kind of away from everything and sort of in line. Okay, so this needs 1 large steel tube. I happen to know a place that has large steel tubes. There we go. Okay, now I'm pressing Shift K to go in right around control, and I can fly. Starting pod is moving. Oh man, there's a lot of snow. I usually try to find an ice lake like that. Just around a little. Man, it's the alien planet there. It's good as area as any. So here we go. So, this first episode is going to be just getting started. It's the basics. Most people go through it, although I guess most people don't actually get their pod flying. It's a little more advanced. practice it all the time, so can't help it. So this is pretty nice and flat. I am looking for ore. So let me get closer. Close. Oh, top. Well, alright, we found gold. Nice. Found an ever-moving patch of gold. Alright. And so what I like to do is I make a GPS for my ores. I like to label it with like a number, just in case I use this world for a while and I have another area on Triton that I hang out in. I like to label them, so like this is going to be TR1 and gold. And now that we have a GPS point, we might be able to find another one and track the grid. So all ore is on a grid system, essentially. So once you find a couple points, you can usually find the next one's pretty easy. I actually like Triton a lot. A lot of people don't even know about it. They're like, what planet's that? And it is kind of like out and away from the main, solar system area. Okay. So the one problem with Triton now is that there's no ore spots, at least not that I can see. Maybe there is, but I have not noticed any splotches. Just saw some silver. Nice. Triton also does have kind of a different ore mixture than some. Okay, there was silver here. Where's my silver? Well, there definitely was. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I don't notice anything that's different about any of this that would suggest that there's ore. I have before had to make like a large grid ore detector before I got started, but I think I'd rather just kind of wander around and see if we can find some cobalt first. I do tend to have luck sort of following the edge of the lake. Maybe just because I remember where I was. We'll try that. Now, when you're handling these guys, these ships, most of the thrust is upward, so I do kind of swing when I need to stop, kind of deal. Or I do kind of iron. Yes, iron usually is friends with cobalt and nickel. Usually. Let's just mark this first, just in case. Alright. I just don't want one of these spots to just disappear in the void. Oh, silicon. Okay, I don't think I've ever seen silicon and cobalt together. So, keep on moving. Because we can take our time to find everything later, especially once we get a large ore detector. Silicon. Now the question is that a new patch of silicon or the same patch of silicon? I mean, it's like 1K away, so it'd be different. Well, okay, so let's say we found silicon here, then if we lined up with that line that does to make, then oh, you would find iron here. Nice. Iron and cobalt. Yes. Score. Yeah, this is kind of crazy. Like when I first, when I was first playing for a long time, I thought that finding auras was just this impossible task, and they were so random that you shouldn't be expected to find cobalt right away and such. But once you kind of get the hang of that grid system and have the means for tracking it, it's not that bad. Okay. There we go. Here, now we see all three. Jeez. I guess I just want to get iron first. I'm gonna be closest to that. Well, I guess not first, but I want to get the most iron, so that would make sense to be closest to it. Okay, nice. Flatten that out a little. I guess that's as good as that's getting. So one of the first things that's valuable to make is a medium container. Pretty much once you're like, hey, I'm going to dig in and start, mining and doing whatever you're going to do, medium container is the way to go. So I went ahead and queued that up. And then I need to actually get some ore now. So normally what I do is I go up against it, turn away, give a step or two, and then now I am right clicking. So I can drill down, turn on my lights. And I'll see if I can make kind of a path. Hopefully it's not too steep. That's pretty steep. We'll see. So the ice is about this deep. So we're hitting stone here. Good. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper just so I can get away from that ice. Oh, here we are, and we're at the iron already as well. So I do have a plugin on here right now. I have a lot of plugins. I'm running Build Vision, Leak Finder, and Sneaky Sounds, just to protect your ears. But I do have a ore pickup plugin here that I'm running. And that way I don't need to hold down F and hope I get things. It also lets me rule out other things, like I could ignore ice if I wanted, or ignore snow. So I'm going to go to production, queue up a bunch of ingots here. Hopefully my stream's okay. And I can't really tell, but I did a fair amount of testing ahead of time. So the nice thing is once you have a medium container, then you can make a number of trips and then let it all process. Gives you a little more leeway with what you're doing. As far as the series go, I am planning to really not use admin or spectator for anything, except for occasionally I may move the sun just to make, or even remove weather just to keep the stream visible. That's my only plan there. Not going to add any MES mods. I do have encounters on, which I think I saw one of those. I don't really want to take over any encounter bases, just as far as this playthrough goes. I may loot them though. So like that's an unknown faction, distress signal, which usually does have loot in it. I just don't know if I want to deal with that. Cool. Alright, so now I can deposit all this stuff. And we'll just go ahead and stock up a little. Let me go ahead and turn off ice. So pick up ice. Can I turn off ore? No, I can't. Well, I turned off ice, so that's good. having that larger inventory is so nice. There we go. Okay, so there's so many options. I could definitely like I guess some of the unique things that I want to focus on for this is I want to be building bases that are kind of nice, and to do so I'm going to need a fair amount of steel plates just to fill in a base, I figure. So that means a fair amount of mining, either iron ore directly or large like piston setup. And I'm still torn what to do. I think one thing I'll probably do is get this turned into a mining ship pretty soon and start using that. But either way, I'm gonna need to start setting some things up here. Let's see, where I got iron directly below us, cobalt's over that way. I think nickel's over that way as well. So let's go right about here. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And one down is where I make that. Wind turbine. Yeah, I don't know. I think Triton's a pretty planet. I like it. I think it's unusual. It's way different than Earth, at least most of Earth, and it's really flat, which is nice for going after those encounters and such. So I'm a big fan. Check the production. Working on that. Good. Guess we can do a little more mining while we're waiting. Sounds good. Hey, man. I am starting a new series that's going to be kind of base building engineering focused. Hey. Hey, y'all, how you doing? Excited to see ya. I'm gonna kind of like Martian Engineering. I don't know if you've seen his channel. It's amazing. He puts me to shame. But I kind of want to have a playthrough where I'm doing a bunch of solar and turret controllers and automation and stuff. And I find when I do it on my own, I'm like, why would I spend so much time? So now I can do it for other people. Just getting my first wind gen started. And then I'm probably going to turn this into a drill ship. And I need a whole bunch of iron. All right. Let's see. I need to get that refinery going next. So I can get some cobalt started. Yeah, that's what we're working on. Yep, day one stuff. Yeah, I'm excited. This is gonna be fun. So no mods to speak of really, except like my general plugins and different skybox. And I decided I'm not going to take over any bases. I'll loot them, but I won't take them over. And I do have encounters on though, so I kind of want to get maybe like a automated factory making some fighters or drones or something. That'd be fun. I've been obsessed with solar recently because I'm like, this is something that's not needed, but it's fun. And so I needed to make up a playthrough that would kind of support them. More space. Reaper, I gotta watch that new episode of yours. Excited, I just noticed it was there. Try to keep things lit. Yeah, it's the first time waiting for something to build. Dang. Yeah, I mean, what I was working a lot on my turret stuff, and found out that if you set up a turret right, those controllers can actually handle a lot of weight. So I was thinking you can make a pretty massive solar array. Oh. It's funny. Yeah, it's tough to remember to talk while you're streaming or recording. Just getting in the zone. I guess I can stop these lights from flashing at people. I didn't want to turn my drop pod into an auto miner because then it would disappear, and I like the idea of being able to fly and go around. Do windows block the solar charge on the panels? I think so. Probably. They probably do now. Yeah. I mean, once they fixed that double stacking of solar panels, which was a sad day for everybody, once they fixed that, I just kind of assume they're blocking everything. Yeah, I don't know, solar Solar is so crappy, like in comparison. I put together a chart that shows like how many you need of what compared to wind. And it's just so many more. I do have a plan for some serious like transformer solar panel deals. It'd be pretty fun. This is looking. Yeah, like even just starting out, like, so I want to use a lot of solar, but I'm like making wind because I need to make a battery and to have the solar any good. It's like, and a turret controller. Those both take, assembler comps. H2 is best. What do you mean H2 is best? Like for power? I mean, I don't like hydrogen, but it's okay. It's just so much work to like keep up. The wind towers are just like 400 and something power for this. It's just insane. Yeah, I mean, hydrogen's okay for power, but it's not stellar, and it's a lot of work, and it's different work too, which I don't like. I really like I really like my power cells stuff, but power cells are insanely heavy, and so my next mod is actually going to be a compact power cell reactor, which would be a lot of fun. Yeah, vent controllers help out. Oh man, this new update is, well, yeah, that's the nuclear is so much more powerful than anything else. It's just so OP. Like I get it's nuclear, and it should be like insane. Like generally, it would be insanely powerful. Um, but uranium, it takes no extra work other than refining in our game, which that's not right either, you know. So like I think uranium shouldn't be power positive. Like I think it'd be cool if you had to bring uranium to a planet and use wind power or something to refine it, and then once it was refined it would be like super portable power. But like as it is right now, it's so power positive that like there's no reason to use anything but uranium eventually. But I think that's part of why I've been focusing more on planet playthroughs. Like I think you kind of go through this phase where you start out and you're on Earth a lot, and then you get into space and you spend a lot of time in space, and then you realize space is kind of boring in some ways, and then you go back to planets. At least that's kind of where I'm at. Just because there's more drama on a planet, you know. Okay, let's see. So I've got that set up. That means I need the cobalt. Well, I guess I can get this iron first. Yeah, I'll get a little iron going just so we're ahead on it. And then I'll get the cobalt started. I'm on Triton, the Hoth-like planet. I really like Triton. It is really flat and open, and pretty in its own way. But it's like two colors. That is the one thing about it, though, is there's plenty of ice for hydrogen if I did want to do that. Oops. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I guess
Energy
a couple of things. One is it's extra cold here, so your battery goes quicker when you're outside. And the ores are not marked, as far as I know. I have not been able to notice any marking for where ores are, so you gotta use an ore detector to find them. But it's nice for getting the random encounters to spawn as well, since it's so flat. Yeah, I think I'll get the assembler going, and then I'll get a drill ship going.
Energy critical.
That way, people aren't watching me mine all the time. I like this skybox a lot. Especially here, it looks pretty. Get a screenshot. Okay. I won't. Oh, jeez. Guess I need some power. You're right. Yeah, I like Triton, especially any combative playthroughs are fun here. I set up some pretty sweet bases here before. Well, we'll see how it goes, but generally I'm planning to do it daily for a little while, for sure. I want to make good progress on this and get in the practice of it. Took me a bit to set up things. I'm multi-streaming right now. I'm on Twitch as well. So. I don't have steel plate. Yeah, I guess I need a lot of iron because I want to get past this like normal looking starter base quick. Get that cobalt. I was having a lot of fun with my satisfactory stuff. I always like to work on vanilla things so everybody can share in them. I do kind of miss that pipelines and power lines mod though. That was sick. This is like my new favorite mod. Okay. Just go in the middle. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to kind of play around the mining units and stuff, and be able to split up my grids a lot. That was pretty cool. Ooh. Think I'm a working assembler. For at least another hour, maybe longer. Oh, I think I forgot to claim this. Oh, I did. Dang it. Actually, first, let's just get this O2 gen working. Magic. Nice. Nice. Claim this pod in the name of Kip. So I need a small merge block here. I'm gonna face that up on that one, and you're gonna face it down on this one. And I need some more pieces. queue those up. Nice. And I'll line this over. I have had this issue recently where a lot of times when I do this merging, it'll put me in a funny position and I'll have to relog. Hopefully that's not the case. Nope, we're good. Alright, it's claimed. No more messages. Cool. Okay. It's working on a little of that cobalt, which is excellent. That means I should be able to get this started mining. So we'll make this into a real cockpit here. No more of this remote control stuff. And let's see here. Turn this up. I'll replace this guy. I use a good old T-junction here, and then straight. And actually, since I have the materials, we'll make things a little nicer this round. Let's get an event controller here. We'll get started in the path of automation. So I'm going to set up a hydrogen tank in here, and the nice thing about that is I can set up an event controller to that, so it only turns on the O2 generator when it needs to actually fill up the hydrogen. Because that O2 generator is the expensive part and annoying part. Tank. Oh my god, I can't wait until we get the O2 tank for small grid. He's so good. Okay. I suspect and I hope that they've had people working on not this cargo update, but the next one after, which is survival, and that they were working on starter pods, and they were so embarrassed by the giant O2 tanks that they're like, okay, we need to make those. I think that was the case. I mean, I would have been embarrassed. Like, I'm embarrassed every time I try to put an oxygen tank on a small grid. It's just, it's like, jeez. Oh man, it's so nice once you have the first assembler. Like, oh, I can actually make most things. Nice. Let's see. I think I'll. I guess how much do I want to put into this drill rig? That's a good question. I think I might as well make it kind of beefy. So on this side, I tend to use a full-size large atmo. And then on this side, because I need to leave it open to reach the survival kit, I'll do 2 halves. Or, sorry, 2 flats. Open that there. Oh. Oh yeah, no, I do need higher. Higher because it has 1 additional block in front, so this would be taken up and then there. Yeah. And that does leave some space so I'm not destroying things I land on. Nice. Looking good. Did I queue up the drill already? I don't think so.
Energy low.
Yeah, energy's gonna be low here for a while. Oh. It's the crappy weather. Great. Forgot about that. Wind turbine. Just good. Not optimal. Maybe I can turn the refinery off? Yes, that works. Doo-doo-doo. I guess I should make more wind power? Yeah. probably going to be out of nickel soon. Let's get some cooking. All right. So when I do this, I do have one full forward thruster, but that doesn't really let you lean very much. It's nicer if you can find a mountain, but of course we avoided those. But I can just dig a really long diagonal trench. This is on Triton. And welcome. It is currently having one of its like foggy moments where the wind slows down. We'll be switching over to solar later. I need some nickel. Yeah, people don't play on this planet very much. Kinda funny. Right. Well, it's plenty of thrust to carry. I won't be able to lean very much. But let's get started anyways. Groups. There's a lot of upward thrust. I mean, it's essentially one large between all three of these. Oh no. It would be really valuable if I actually put a gyroscope on this. I took it off and forgot to replace it. I used to have a lot of trouble finding ore, but now there's a couple of things. So generally on most planets there is a grid system. So pretty much once you can find 2 spots of ore, you can travel in that line and you'll hit something else. And cobalt is usually with iron and nickel. So if you are traveling in that line and you notice any iron or nickel, slow down and you'll probably find cobalt. Gyroscope. Just gonna have the gyroscope inside, but then I package it up already. Guess yeah, no trouble. Yeah, it got me for the longest time, and then I finally started to do the ore whisperer thing. And it's better. Alright, this is gonna fly a lot better with the gyroscope. Alright. So one secret trick that I actually just learned recently is that if you are controlling drills, put this tool block on here, either right click or left click. If you press K to go into the menu and then come back, it will still run without you holding it down. So that can be really handy for right clicking into something. Or if you're just lazy like me and didn't want to add an on-off to your bar for it. Let's see if I can get some stone. So I do actually have a plugin that lets me get rid of either ice or stone, and I'm using it now. It's cheating, I know, but kind of handy. Well, that filled up pretty quick. I guess I really do need to get this turned into at least a modular container worth of storage on the back, and then go after ores. I do need to fix my power problem too. Yes. Dang it, there's so much to do when you first start out. Let's see. Let's get one more of these going. Do that up. No, we're still low on nickel. So whenever I do wind, I go up 11 from whatever base it's on. And then I go 1 down and I put a star around it. I just happened to be out of steel plates when I was there. And then place the wind and it gets max up there. I also like these because I can stand here while I'm welding, especially early game. Saves a lot of fuel. Nice. Okay. Alright, so got the wind up. That should be better. Let me turn on the assembler again, or refiner again. Still doing pretty good on steel, on iron. That's good. Okay. I think I'm gonna manually get some nickel. They don't need a lot, but a little bit will help. I usually kind of dig down until I see ore, and then I kind of go around it with right click just to make some space. And that way, if I'm drilling right at the center, I'm less likely to get stone. I think I just want like 2K. Good. Yeah. Okay. Let's at least go with full-size thrusters on these sides. I'm going to use a larger container on the back, so I need to lift this up. Okay, so my H2O is at 87%, which means I probably ran out of ice. Yes. Happen to know where some ice is sitting. All the ice I ignored earlier. Okay, so now I snuck in an event controller here earlier. Event and hydro. And we'll look for gas tank field percentage. And if it is equal to or less than 90%, and add that small hydrogen tank, then we will turn the O2 generator on. And if it is not, then we'll turn it off. Okay, so if it's less than 90%, it'll turn on, otherwise it'll turn off. And so it is currently at 100%. Which is not correct. Action slot 1. That's not right. It should say output 2. Wait. If it's less than 90%, it should go 1. I don't think I can fix it. I think it just needs to change. Well, either way, we can turn this off. So the nice thing is that now the O2 generator will only run when it needs to, and it'll keep 90% of the hydrogen in there, and it'll be good. It's one of those things like getting used to using event controllers, because usually in Space Engineers you're in such a hurry, sort of, that it's like, I don't want to go through that extra work. But I think it's cool if you can do it along the way. Okay, so now I have thrust, full-size thrust in each of those directions. I really should put more going forward. I also need another battery on here. I think I have room for one inside. Let's see if I can sneak one in here. Nice. That's perfect. I have effectively utilized the space. Making these battery cell or power cells is kind of why I needed the nickel. Nice. So I'm going to put that battery there, and then I need at least one more thruster pointing forward. Yeah. Just to balance things out. And then I'm going to swap this guy to a modular container. Modular containers are one of the nicest things they've made in a while. Just because for small grid it gives you a lot of options. Because it's got these large ports in each direction. Which is nice. Also fits pretty well with the size of this vehicle. Okay. Yes, the forward thruster. I don't know what to do with this ice either. I guess I could put it back in. No, I don't want it. One of these. Ready to do some real mining, kind of. Hey, welcome back. Just getting set up. Just been extending the miner. Got a second battery snuck in there, and getting the thrusters handled. New container. Almost there. Generally, it's always better to have more stopping thrusts than not. But especially if you're on a mining rig and you're going to lean forward like this on a planet. This is not quite enough, but it's a good start. So now I actually need to... I'm going to add in the extra drills. For those, 2 drills. Yeah. Thanks. I actually like to do small grid only playthroughs, or small grid mostly playthroughs, I guess. So I just attach an assembler and refinery onto the top of these for a little while and then fly around without them. This is enough upward thrust. I don't think it is. we'll do some testing. Okay, let's see. So it's two. I think it's two large atmos for one large container, and this is three. This is 2/3 of a large container. So no, I don't think this is quite enough. I think I do need to replace this. Yeah, I'm actually really excited about not the cargo cargo update, yes, but the one after for survival. I'm really wondering if they're gonna make some nice improvements to starting out. And what kind of ship you start with. I actually have a potential roadmap that I put together for all the dev work and expansions that are coming, and I'm gonna make a video on it and just kind of like lay out of like, all right, if we follow this, this is when I think all these releases will be ready. That would be kind of cool. I'm actually thinking that the water update for SE2 is probably when they're going to start selling DLCs in SE2. Just a guess.
Energy low.
Well, they see Keen won't release any dates on anything. Like they won't even tell us when we're getting the cargo update, except it's soon. But it should be next month. What do I need? Yeah, I'm gonna finish this. Yeah, it's kind of weird with SE2 because, like, the main developer, he's like, guys, like, don't worry if you don't want to play this game that's super early access right now. But then at the same time, like, the community managers are total, like, over the top hype for SE2, like it's ready. It's nowhere near ready. It's like, which one is it, you know? Yeah, I know. It gives all these teasers. I mean, the teasers are nice. At least it's something. I just wish they gave us a date. I guess, you know, they don't have to. So, I guess I have to. So I was a development manager and product owner, and so like I would do the same thing with our clients. If I didn't have to give a date, like I wouldn't, because you never know what comes up. I guess it's karma now. Right.
Energy critical.
I know, it's cold. And it takes a lot of energy. Alright. Here we go. I have, I think, a ton, and probably plenty, upward thrust. And What do I need? Everything. Let's see. Yeah, it's just good to just wait until something shows up sometimes. I do think that SE1 is in like a really good position for people doing their own modding and stuff. And Keen kind of screwed themselves over in a way, in that they have to beat SE1 in order to have a good show on SE2. Which is good for us and kind of bad for them. Which also means that the cooler we do things in SE1, like, the better they have to end up being in SE2. It's good time. Well, I'm more than full and no problem there, so that's good. But I'm full of ice, sorry, stone, which doesn't really get me very far. I'm not even cooking anything. What is my problem? Let's see. Okay, large container, small container. Oof. I don't know. So many options. At least the sunlight's coming out again. Let's see. I want a base, but I also want solar. I guess I'd rather have a base than solar. Yeah. Sure. Okay, so we got some stuff and things that direction. We're gonna put a large container and then an assembler and refinery. Might as well go in this direction. Yeah, I do need a connector for sure. Okay. Two generator. I think this might be the wall. And then I can put stuff off the side of the container. Survival kit. I guess I could just have it into the room because I don't think a survival kit is airtight. Stone is gone. Yeah, true. Yeah, that's a pretty poor placement for that. Let's see if I can make this. Let me actually make a button for drills on. Yeah, that's true. If I have a connector, I can make really quick trips. Coming. So far, so good. We'll just have to see about those metal grids. Oof. Gonna get a little copal. Oh, sorry, nickel. Yeah, nickel's fine. blah, blah, blah. Right, iron. Cool. There we go. I'm kind of wondering is when I remove the survival kit from this, can I fit a actually, I don't know. I may not remove it. Could I fit another container on that? I'm gonna need to charge some. You know, I could go steal from that distress signal. So, tier 1 and home. I always like make my home purple for some reason. Pretty sure this is one of the distress signals that don't have turrets. Beautiful Triton. Do it. No backup save. It'll be fine. These ones are usually pretty decent. Pretty much half of the unknown ones have turrets. I don't think this is one of them. I think we're okay. Yeah, we're okay. Shoot. That'd be fine. Let's see. Where do I start? So delicious. Probably gonna be full of metal grids when I'm done. Oh my god, 250 in there? That's glorious. Oh, I'm still working on that stone. hurry up already. This guy was having a bad day. Life. My sister was having her first kid. I was supposed to meet him. I'm not supposed to die here. Oh, it's so sad. Dang. Yeah, this is all vanilla here. Why does it have a defensive block? Is there a turret I didn't see? Ooh, nice. Look at that cobalt. Refined already, even. Sure, we'll take a little of that. Weapons. Nice. I guess I won't take this ore. I've actually lived out of one of these before. Wasn't too bad. Well, I've like made a base out of it at least. What's the time? It's got 2 hours on it. I decided in this playthrough I don't want to steal any grids, I guess. I'll just scrap them and move on. I am thinking of having another playthrough later where I actually like intentionally tried to claim every type of grid that's available in vanilla. But I'm thinking that might be better once the cargo update hits. I mean, that's a fully functional hydrogen tank. Jeez. I don't know why, like, I don't care, though, do I? Guess I'm just really curious to find out how much hydrogen it has. It's probably like 14%. 11.8%. I know my encounters, I guess. Oh yeah, that's a basic refinery down there. And oh, hello. This is the jump drive one. Perhaps that's gonna be heavy, but I do want these superconductors for my first refinery. Well, I mean, this is nice. The only thing is, it is sideways, and it is. I have felt kind of silly being in the sideways base before. If my container's done, then this shouldn't be much of an issue. This is the only wreck that I know of in vanilla that comes with a jump drive. It's partial. It's like a third of the components in it, but it's pretty. Getting one of these flying again would be really tough because you'd have to try to remove all the voxel. It's like halfway halfway in voxel. Actually, there may be a way with a warhead or something, like, because I think they can remove some voxel or something. Here, let's do a little experiment here. Jump drive's in the back, so I'm not too worried. Let's see. Character weapons. I don't know. I guess that wasn't really enough ammo to really test. So there's a scenario by Wellington. It's mostly just kind of a rule set.
Low.
But you can't get you can't make anything important, really. Like, you have to steal it all. And so, like, I'd be waiting for this wreck for that one, just to get that jump drive. Okay, grinding. Yeah, that scenario is called Finding the Factorium, and he's got a build restriction mod for it. Pretty cool. But, like, if you really wanted to get this one particular wreck to spawn, that's kind of rough.
Energy critical.
I mean, it does seem to have a higher chance on ice planets like this, but it'd still be kind of rough. Hopefully that container's all finished when we get back. I can just make some more trips to here. Should probably make a nicer grinder. Actually, bam. What does it need? Construction components, large steel tubes, and more construction components. Alright. Large steel tubes. Oh, sorry, small steel tubes. Ghetto engineering at its finest. Just gotta make sure this container doesn't fill up. I guess I could put a remote like backwards on this. Oh no, the dead body fell. And flew. Okay, let's take this load back down. That's funny. So I have my streams open because that's the easiest way to test stuff usually. And I looked over at one of the screens and it showed me tipping forward because that's what I had done previously, and I just like freaked out. You know, my brain can't handle it. So in the next update, they're going to add the ability to, they're going to add more of those like set functions for actions. So instead of like just increasing thrust override, you can set it to something. It's going to be really handy. Ooh. That's good. Oh, something else I was building. Ah, that first large container. I hope they actually figure out, well, I mean, I guess there won't be large and small grid next time. But are they, like, let's say there is no large and small grid. Does that mean that they're going to have one container that's 40 times the storage of the previous one still? That just, like, it doesn't make sense at all right now. 40 times. Okay, oh. Well, how was I gonna handle the connector situation? Let's see here. I think I'm gonna add a junction and a connector together. Always feel silly adding just junctions, but this is life. If I have to move my ship for this or not. I do. Yeah. Yep, 40 is more than 2. Yeah, there's such a crazy disparity right now between small and large grid and the large versions of those things. Like, I mean, even thrusters, they're all like 7x, right? 6 or 7x. 40x though? What the hell? 40x in the exact same PCU. It is. This is the I got the skeleton skin for this. I think, and the grinder. I'd have the newspaper on the drill because I don't have a skeleton one for that. But this is the grinder with the skeleton on it too. Okay. Alright, I got that connector there. I think this would be a good spot for this one. You know, I'm always kind of torn on the new connectors. So now that we have the inset one, the inset connector is just generally better for small grid because it gives you so many extra connection points. But trying to line up an inset connector manually is awful. So kind of like if I'm going to use a connector a lot, then I make it normal. Oh, yeah. So far, my robbery is going quite successfully. I mean, my cleanup of the natural environment. How's that? Yeah, definitely my cleanup. Okay, modular cargo. Here's a large. Nice. So, anytime I get those weapons, that's actually my one chance for getting a hold of. Yeah, I know I do sound like government there. It's my one chance for getting a hold of uranium on the planet. Actually, let me check these batteries. Mostly okay. Oh, wait. I want that remote control. Learned it from watching news. Okay. Moves. Oh, shoot. Oh no, I hope I didn't... I don't think I killed that signal. Ah, there we go. Phew. That was close. I guess I should mark this. Minutes of flight time. Maybe 5. I mean, a nice thing is it should be no problem making a refinery with all these everything. Let's go for that jump drive first. Is gonna fill up fast. Like now. Oh my god. Well, part of it is I got those. Well, actually, I got a lot of superconductors. But I also got radio components and stuff. I mean, as far as starts go, that was pretty dang good. And why am I on fire? Nothing to worry about here, folks. Nothing to worry about. Well, I got most of the superconductors. Let me see if I got any. They didn't give me gravity components, though, and those are really heavy. So, it wasn't too bad. One of my batteries dead. Ooh. This is a little dicey. Oh, okay. Drill bits. Whew, okay. I added a battery earlier and never charged it, so I've this is the first time I'm charging since I started the game. So I was in trouble already. But while I'm working on it, I guess I can get that refinery go. Oh man, I got battery. Why do I have power cells? Oh, there's some power cells in the jump drive. Nice. Very nice. I always forget about that. Actually, that makes sense. So, power cells are crazy heavy. They're the same weight as a reactor component. So, I guess that's how jump drives get their weight. Okay, pretty good. Oh yeah. How did I hurt that? I have no idea. Okay. Where are we at here? Refinery in this direction, I guess. Fancy refinery? No, not fancy refinery. Not yet, at least. Cool. And we'll do also a battery, just to help with this recharging. I'll put it in the room. What? How many power cells do I need? Okay, so I got the refinery and assembler started. Once I get this flying, I'll be able to go get enough components for them pretty easy, I think. The wind won't be enough. I mean, I really want to do a lot of solar, but I guess I'll rely on wind for a little bit first. I'll just have to make up for it later with massive solar. This should be charging quickly now. Yes. Maximum power. Yeah, that's my other part with solar is it's such an investment when you're starting out. Luckily, you don't need a lot of batteries with it, but you do need at least a battery, and then a turret controller. It's a lot.
Fuel low.
Oh my god, I can't fly.
Fuel critical.
Let me try that again. Alright, we got real power coming. Let's see. Wait a little bit on that. Let's set up an auto connect. Let's see. I'm using this spot for a gyroscope. I think these two are open. Oh yeah, I can get both. I'm pretty bad at that. Remembering to actually get bottles. Oh my god, okay, only one of those spots was open. I think I'm used to, like, so my excuse that I'll give, which is absolutely an excuse, is that I'm so used to official servers where I don't have much inventory that, like, that bottle space is so, like, important. But here I could store, like, 6 of them, I'd be fine. So let's do that. Disk assembler. I could definitely use some ice now too. Okay, this should be good enough for now. So I did choose high density for encounters. I think later when I actually start hunting, I'll actually edit the save to increase the spawn a little bit more. Because as it is right now, pretty much if you want the maximum chance of getting a vanilla encounter, you should go like 20 to 27k away from anything, not be on a static grid, and wait 15 to 30 minutes. Which is a long time if you're streaming. I mean, that's a long time generally, but it's not so bad if you're doing your laundry, I guess. I actually just need a bunch of steel plates, so... Will do. I don't even have a bad rep yet. He's, the unknown faction has no rep. In a mod I started working on, I actually split up the unknown faction a bit. So I have Old Earth, which is supposed to represent things from as early as our time in space, pretty much before Earth was blown up, assuming that's really lore. And then I also have Astronauts Without Borders because they're actually mentioned in lore. So I'm like, all right, well, why have an unknown signal when you could have one that's all like for astronauts without borders, those hippies as they call them. I think it just takes a lot of work, but I want to set up a lot more encounters in space that are for like peaceful factions as well. So like mining encounters, and that way you can be flying around and you'd see like a mining encounter or something and be like, all right, I want to go over there, and I could actually find this ore I've been missing. Because the problem right now is like, if you start a playthrough, at some point you want to have uranium. You want to have uranium, and so that means that you're going to have to search asteroids until you find it. There's no way to get around that. But you can get everything else from scavenging. I mean, technically you can get uranium from scavenging also, but like, if you want to have freedom of jumping around, you gotta get a fair amount. Okay, I think I'm full enough. A little heavy. I got those gravity components. Now, because I have gravity components, I can make fish tanks. Not jump drives, but fish tanks. I can make up to 20 fish tanks. I think that's what every outpost needs. So once I'm able to get some sort of semblance of a building going, I actually have kind of a list of like projects and things I want to build. So I'm trying to get a project board going. I have a little bit of weight problem. A little slow. Yeah, fish in space. Nice, there we go. Should be enough steel plates. Let's see. What else do I need from that wreck? There may have been a large container in that, but I think I would have gotten it already if there was. It's cooking. And I think I'm going to make one more trip out there and come back and I'll wrap up. So probably another like 15 minutes or so for today. Did it have any ion? What? It might have been at Mo and Hydro. I'll take a look. It'd be nice to get some nicer animals on the planet. I'm not planning to leave the planet. Maybe even in this playthrough, or at least not for a long time. I don't know if I'll go too far out of my way to do so, but it would actually be pretty funny to actually craft prototech from raiding enough of these bases. Prototech refinery is just so glorious. Would be nice to have one. We got hydrogen thrusters at node. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just those two. Yeah, so there's no actual full, like, prototech pieces on planets at all. But you can get, like, one or two of the prototech components from planets. And occasionally you'll actually get the frameworks as well. And so eventually you could make prototech on a planet-only playthrough. I actually think, like, kind of a good way to look at the way Keen does stuff is, like, they kind of do things as a demo. Because, like, they made this whole system for modding that stuff. And I think they're hoping that people actually will. Unfortunately, nobody does. They all just use MES. But the whole system's pretty cool. I mean, you could make tiered stuff, and you could mix in those components into these types of wrecks and things. So without any actual programming, just config stuff, you could actually make your own prototech system, essentially. I was thinking of, like, it'd be cool to have, like, a lower tier type of stuff that was still kind of useful. Like, like maybe like my power cell reactor or my magnesium reactor. Like being able to get some components for that from wrecks like this. Or like maybe a moisture vaporator stuff, because like a moisture vaporator, like one of them isn't super valuable, but collecting some over time would be nice for bases where you don't have to like restock ice for oxygen or whatever. Or maybe some like middle tier thrusters or something that were like super power efficient and could go to space but had slow acceleration or something. Just be cool to mix in some like middle tech, you know. Oh, shoot, am I full? Probably full. No, not full. Yeah, these, I mean, just having these Rex in vanilla is pretty nice. Man, it made starting on Europa way easier, where there's no stone. The only thing about it is, like, it's random what spawns. Like, this could have been a pirate base that I couldn't have even attacked, or at least would have had a hard time with. So it's hard to plan a playthrough around that. Good. Looking forward to this series. It's gonna be fun. I kind of have to stream it, otherwise I just don't like spend the time on the build, you know. Yeah. There's this one like deluxe pirate base that has like a couple of floors and different areas and stuff, and be a little bit of a doozy. I mean, I can just throw enough bodies at them, you know, but I don't want to. I'd rather not do that on this series if I can avoid it, I guess. On this series. I've gotten really good at throwing bodies at Prototech, but I don't feel like they intended that. Kind of funny when I go against Vectorum now, like I fly in there and some of them like I know so well and can get through so quick that I'm just like zoom in and destroy everything I need to, claim it, and I'm like, okay, I'm good, I'll be back in 2 hours. Yeah, no, that'd be great to do that. Scavenger playthrough is really good now. At least with vanilla, like for some reason I just don't like MES stuff. just weird, I guess. But the vanilla stuff is really pretty good quality now. The only thing in space, the space encounters have not been redone, so they are not intended and are not turned on official servers yet. And I don't know if they're going to fix them. But the planet encounters, that's all the modern stuff. It's really nice. It's keen intended designed stuff. It's getting dark. Good timing. Maybe I can get that room started or finished real quick. This was pretty good progress. I mean, when I get back to base, I should. Well, we'll see. Maybe I didn't have enough computers, but hopefully, I'll have a large refinery and assembler set up. Ooh. One battery went out. This could be going horribly wrong. And you know, I didn't really need that welder or grinder anymore, so perfect. Oh man, that was my whole storage. Crap. Well, that was my storage end connector. Oh my god. Let me park this. Okay, still have that. Let's see if my stuff is here. That was a perfectly a perfectly space engineer thing to happen there with that crash. Where did I crash? Yeah, it's true. Good thing I grabbed that jump drive first. Wait, did I not, like... Where... There should be a hole. I remember going kind of past this ironish thing here, right? Wait a minute. I thought... Wow, okay, apparently there's no sign of my crash. All evidence has been deleted. Let me see if I can spot it on my ship. Oh, go further back? Okay. And of course, the weather has gotten into cahoots. Okay. I think that's alright. It is a perfect space engineers thing to have happen. We're like, oh, things are going good. Beautiful. Well, I mean, at least, like, the majority of my ship is still there. Just not the loot. And I still have a survival kit. Oh god, thank god. That would have been really bad. I haven't transferred that yet. Okay. Here we go. Well, I guess it wouldn't have been that bad because I can get this a starter pod flying in less than 3 minutes now, so I would have just flown over, but still, it would have been annoying. Oh, so like I would, wait, pass some resources near your base. Okay, yeah. That's so too. I thought I passed that iron one. That's it up. Put a weapon on here, then it should let me target stuff. I should be able to see any crit I got. Which I thought it was this iron. Well, I mean, I hit directly with the grinder, but that. But I thought that I saw something roll off. No, just unknown signal. That's the actual wreck. Zero visibility. Days. You know, let's drive blind. Sure, that'll be fine. Can't imagine there being any problem with that. Oh my god. Man, That's okay. I got plenty of superconductors, probably for yeah. I mean, that is a nice thing about it being so flat here, at least. Oh, good lord. I'm not usually a fan of the weather, but like I wouldn't want to be stuck in streaming it for like a long time. But I'm pretty close to base, so. Yeah, whatever I had on the back of this thing was gone. I mean, I intentionally dipped down to hit first with that welder. We're home. We're okay. We're safe. See, no crash. I'm okay. Oh. Tomorrow. About the same time. Planning to stream about the same time every day. And we'll see, maybe next week I might take 2-3 days off, but generally I like to stream most days. Awesome. Okay, I can say that I got a roof over my head in the first episode. And it's all that it is a roof, but I'll take it. Well, thanks everybody for joining. It was a pleasure hanging out with y'all, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next stream. So, have a good one. Bye.